Yeah. Permission to speak. Yeah. Permission to speak. Yeah. Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Really. Yeah. Permission to speak. Permission to what? Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Freely permission to speak. Permission to speak. Freely.
So, man, tell me this, especially, man, you that came through. Father's Day coming up. We already been in this fatherhood shit for years, bruh.
For sure.
Stepdaddy, real daddy. You know what I'm saying? But just tell me now, man, how old is your oldest?
Dom's 17, getting ready to be 18 October, so in 4 months. He'd be grown. So I've been dealing with this fatherhood stuff for 18 years.
Do you think 18 grown though?
No.
Go, man. Hey, we was just talking about that. Go in depth though, bro. How was 18 not grown?
So when we was here talking to KJ or whatever about just the demographic of how they even entrap people to think that way. At 18, you really can't do much of anything. You can sign up to fight for the country, go to jail.
Yeah, you damn sure go to jail.
You go to jail. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much, open up a bank account on your own, but you can't walk into a store and buy, a bottle or, shells, miles without being carded. It's something that the stigma that the country puts on us, but it's easy to get in debt at 18 if you don't have the right people to teach you how to manage yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Fact, yeah.
So, no, I do not think 18 is grown, but.
Hey, and I like how you brought up almost like the pleasure side of being 18 of you get to probably go to certain nightclubs. Get to kind of, like you said, go maybe get some drink or some smoke or just, kind of be out in the world. You don't got a curfew, quote unquote.
Exactly. You're a little bit more independent.
Yeah, man. So the angle we was talking to him about was graduating from school. One of my nephews is at the age where he getting ready to graduate from school. He getting ready to go out into the world. And I actually believe he's a year ahead in school. So he actually is 17 getting ready to graduate compared to 18.
Right. So he's
not
going to be able to do.
He ain't going to be able to take off into the world like he like. At the same time, the way I looked at it was, like most of us, we was living on our own in our generation. Most of us jumped out there 18, 19, 20, got our own place, car, stuff like that. I don't think a lot of these children, this generation got that same grit like we did.
Not at all.
We wanted to drive and get our license at 15, 16 years old. We wanted to be responsible like that. But getting to see the children now trying to go out there and do it like we did it, I don't think most of them got it, nor are they ready. Getting to see like how they gotta be 38 this year. And I'm just catching on to like responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So at 18, 20 years ago, bro, no.
And I think it's kind of, so I talk to Dom about this regularly. It's this generation is a gift and a curse. for when it comes to like technology and stuff, because they have things that are more accessible to them at their fingertips, which helps them learn faster, but it also has made them stagnant and extremely lazy because
I
they
agree.
are able to get it at their fingertips so quickly. Like, you know, I just was trying to put him in driver's ed or whatever, and it was kind of like, it's cool if I get my license and it's cool if I don't. And I'm like, man, what? Like, how you gonna get around? And he just was like, well, you know, I got you, I got mom, I can Uber. I'm like, man, I would never. Like, I need you to have the same ambition and drive, because at 18 you are able to, like you said, taste those freedoms, but you still have to have the desire of wanting to chase it.
Yeah, you got to be responsible enough to handle what you ask for.
Mm-hmm.
You want to drive? Great, man. You can come and go as you please a little bit. You can get to where you need to go faster. But if you texting and driving, if you don't got the small necessities of like how to maintain your vehicle, insurance, you know what I'm saying? Gas money.
You gotta have the means to it. People even of our age think it could be just as simple as just getting in the car, but it ain't just that. People think, oh, okay, I put $20-$30 in the tank. Yeah, but what about that oil change? What about the brakes? What about the maintenance of
tire rotation, everything?
Yeah. Like $50 a week experience can go to thousands of dollars real quick. So that understanding the financials that you have to have really to be inside of the world, to conduct yourself as smooth as you would want to inside of the world. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't come with nobody just hands you money.
Nah.
So KJ is 13, just turned 13.
Mm-hmm.
He at this funky teenage boy age where
I think I know it all.
Yeah.
Feeling himself, as we call it in our generation and older generations, the nuts is dropping. Yeah, so to a level I respect it, because he want to find his own. Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. But what I don't like, and I try to express to him, is, man, don't kick your guy. Don't kick your guy, bro. I'm your guy. Like, as I tell him, I've been a 13-year-old boy named Kim Wan before.
Don't nobody know it.
Hey, this is our first time here together.
Right. So you learning and I'm learning.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey, bro, like, forgive me, because we learning together. We learning at the same time. It's my first time here with you. Right. I've been here before, though.
Yeah.
So he catching it, but it's like a fart in the wind. Is when I'm talking to him, he's like, yeah, Dad, sure, great. Then afterwards, he embarrassed his mama show up to an event that he wanted us at, but now he like, oh my God, my parents are around. Though his friends like, man, your mama lit, your daddy lit. But
for sure, but that's kids being kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you don't really appreciate it until it's gone. You
That's
know
facts.
what I'm saying? And then when it is you as the beneficiary, you don't necessarily see it because you're used to it. So when you got somebody who doesn't having that conversation, you're like, what do you know? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And yeah, I done been in them shoes, but
Yeah.
So,
man,
know.
so I say that to say, he doesn't know what it's like not to have a father,
right,
at any point.
Right.
Okay, I ain't missed no days, and I put in that overtime.
Yeah.
So it's a like you said, it's so ready, accessible. Is to him, it's just like, I get to it.
Unappreciated.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, whenever.
Uh-huh.
So when I'm not here or I'm not around, or when I'm working, and he'll be like, hey, man, I haven't seen you in like 2-3 days. I'm like, and then I could be out here in these streets, nigga, off the porch.
And for sure. And that's kind of like what I mean about a good segue in terms of, you know, this is not something that I just do in my free time. Like, I study being a better man, which alludes to being a better father, you know, because you can never just take one side of it. So I'll speak to women about what they ask of us, what they require of us to be better fathers. I'll speak to men and say, well, what do you need for that to happen? And like, I think the disconnect is honestly just perspective and understanding. You know what I'm saying? But with Dominic growing up, I feel like, you know, I won't get in trouble for saying it. I think that if I was in the home, I know he would be a lot further on in life. You know what I'm saying? So when I look online and I see women, dare I say, shaming men, I don't think that they understand that it comes with emotional baggage for us as well. Because I want to be with my kid every day, but I shouldn't have to necessarily deal. And I'm not saying all women or men's, you know, circumstances are the same, but the majority of the time when it becomes toxic, women just think that it's toxic for them. Like, no, like, I'm missing my baby. Like, I gotta miss events. You know what I'm saying? That could be something as simple as the first step, or, you know, after school activity, or, you know, his first girlfriend. It could be the birds and the bees talk. And a lot of people say, well, it doesn't have to be that way. But when you got conflict in between, 9 times out of 10, that's how it ends up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I think women don't believe that men feel what they feel.
Grieve.
Like, like they, and I think, and I say it respectfully, even being married, you know what I'm saying, that I tell Vanessa, like, man, don't ever feel like I'm okay.
Right.
Or don't ever feel like that what happened to our children and birth and things like that, like, I didn't feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Not react the way you have.
And it's expressing to her the postpartum that men go through, like the emotional of, hey, I can't see my baby either. That bothers me, that I don't like it.
Man.
And it's for real. It's serious. So being able to express that and be like, hey man, I don't want to have to act a fool to show that I care.
Right.
You know, that's just not, that's beneath me as a gentleman of who I've grown to be. But I am very emotional. I'm very rigid on not seeing my kids because that's a day-to-day for me. That's a day-to-day for me. So not being able to see them or touch them, I can only imagine the men that and there's great men like you, like Levon, like Bud, that are around me, that sometimes they don't get that privilege to see their children because sometimes people mad.
Right.
Sometimes people, it's a benefit to keep you away more than a privilege of, like, you can have all of me and everything of me if I could be here. But because in a lot of cases, the government get to step in and be the father. The government get to tell you where you live, how much money you get to make, give you X, Y, and Z, Section 8, food stamps, medical.
It's a replacement.
It's a replacement.
Yeah.
So, and it's not a healthy one.
No, not at all.
Not a healthy one. So, and that alienates the dad. So where do we go to get the love?
Right. Yeah. You know, and it's just systematic programming because I say maybe about 6-7 years ago, it was before the twins were born, kind of had that exact discussion on my Facebook page on a post where it just asked women a very direct question. Would you rather have the support of a father trying or the government that can do? You know what I'm saying? Like, him being out of the home don't stop your show if they telling you, well, as long as he's gone, we'll give you this, we'll give you this, we'll give you this. Sometimes a man just can't compete with what's guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you giving the insurance, when you giving a place to lay your head, when you giving whatever the monetary amount may be, it's money that is coming in your pocket one way or another. You know, people might say, oh, well, he isn't consistently paying child support for some circumstances, but that ain't, we know that's not how it works. They gonna catch your ass at some point.
At some point.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, a lot of the women who answered on that specific post answered honestly and said that they rather take the government assistance. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a man in the home that's trying, which the focus should be on the child, it doesn't benefit her. You know what I'm saying? And like, I just think that the system needs to be revamped instead of it being, like you said, a replacement, but something that could be there to assist, you know? So,
yeah. And I think that is sad that, you know, some women will prefer that government assistance over maybe even a job themselves, or a man that's actually working, trying, compared to the consistency that they can receive for the government, but it's always capped.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is Chief Ali from Permission to Speak Freely podcast. When you get a chance, go check out my instrumental albums. First one is OTC Music by Chief Ali, and the second is Late Medication by Chief Ali. Streaming everywhere.
It's always capped, only so much every month, only so this, so that. You know, so it's never you really get ahead. It's really like, hey,
keeping you there
is one step from you being on the street. So, hey, $600, $800, $1,200, whatever you getting per month to be able to just kind of get you by. It shouldn't be. And I guess, like you said, it's a systematic thing. You getting paid X amount of dollars to almost do nothing should not replace a man who comes in with everything that can help you reach the ceilings, that y'all can work together. But then you upset when we get upset as men, I'll say, is don't look at me for money. Don't look at me like this. But is we actually are being replaced by it on the fact of the government.
Right.
Can you come in and pay my bills? Can you come in and pay my rent? It's like, you not even doing that, lady. Like, let's not do that. And I'm an advocate for government assistance, man. I'm an advocate for, because I know some people need it.
Right.
But it shouldn't be your grandmama got it, your mama got it, your sister got it, and your baby got it.
Teaching your baby to be dependent on it instead of getting out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's everybody loses. Everybody loses. The baby doesn't get further along. Some of the things I'll say is the baby is taken care of in the most simplistic way, where it doesn't die. It got some health insurance. It got some, yeah. It got just enough to get by, but the government still look like it has to recoup itself, and it's going to find the father. It's going to find it some way. That letter going to show up to a job. You're going to get one in the mail too, and there's going to be like some garnishments coming out effective X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, and you know, when I say grade D, it's not to diminish the help. You know, I'm not saying that. But when you peel the layer of that onion back and you look at what it is that they are providing, it really is, because we saw it firsthand. You know, my favorite subject is history, you know, so I remember paying attention to, before I lived in the suburbs, was called the Great White Flight, which in other generations would be called gentrification. So we saw firsthand growing up where we grew up, Section 8 coming in, you know what I'm saying? And they associated in that community, oh, well, that means, you know, more trouble, you know. They associated it with the school district, I guess you could say, falling off. You could see the funds drastically changing, you know, and I'll say that in that suburban community, it also meant we would see less whites or Asians or Indians, and you would see more brown colored people. You know what I'm saying? But when you look out of Cuyahoga County, you see other larger systems, you know, like out in the sticks, they getting the same benefit. It just ain't us out there. You know what I'm saying? So tying that into fatherhood, it can be associated with the come up, but they're not realizing what comes with the, like you said, the cap. You know what I'm saying? They're giving you just enough to survive, when if we're working together, or for those that do got to do it on their own, are you taking full advantage of your support system to get it out the mud, or are you just saying, hey, I'm just dependent on this system, you know?
Yeah. And I think it's the easy way. Okay, as a man who grew up on it, man, and we had it for a little bit too. I love food stamps. Okay, government, if you hear me, I love stamps. I love food stamps. Okay,
$2 for the dollar.
I love food stamps.
It fed us well.
If you can't get free medical, you should get free food. Like,
Man.
So much food go to waste and shit. Like, man, you should be. If you can't get free medical, you should be able to get free food.
Yeah,
right?
we all need help every now and then.
For sure. So I don't nowhere near knock help, especially as an entrepreneur, man. We need everybody need the help. Everybody need somebody. Put it like that, man. So welcome to a beautiful episode of Permission to Speak Freely podcast. I got my mans, I got my brother, Terry Allen Nichols, and if you really know him, you know him as Tan Man, Rubber Band Man. Okay, man, we here today just talking like we usually talk, unedited, unscripted, but bringing y'all fully into our conversations that we have on the daily of just what it is to be a man, what it is to be a father, especially during the month of Men's Mental Health Month, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. We here to bring y'all that, man. So, Tan Man, tell the people about you.
All right. Well, first off, happy Father's Day to you and everybody out there, all the fathers out there. A little bit about myself. Getting ready to be 39 years old in October. Father of 3 beautiful, beautiful children. Got Dom, Dion, and Drew. Pretty much what I wanted to come on the podcast today and talk about is, like Kenwan said, just give a little history about myself, just the struggles of dealing with wanting to be the best father you could be in today's society. You know, it's a lot of stigma that comes with it, a lot of finger pointing, a lot of lack of understanding. And you know, I hear all the time, well, a lot years ago, that there's always a way to do more. But when you are in that box, sometimes, like you said, tying it into mental health, you get beat up, you know. Sometimes, you know, when you think you're doing enough and it isn't enough, it can become frustrating, you know. So I just wanted to come on today and give some fathers and men that are trying to be better some encouraging words, some hindsight of some things that I've been dealing with for the past 17 years. This is not something new to me because I know what I've signed up for to be a father. You know, so yeah, just to shout some people out and show love to those who deserve it, you know, because don't get me wrong, there are some moms who go beyond the call of duty to be great co-parents, you know, and there are some programs that are in place to help fathers be great fathers. And if you don't know about them, you won't know about them. So yeah, that's just pretty much what I wanted to do today, man. And yeah, that's where we at with things.
Hey, man, freedom speakers, especially I'm talking to the men. Have you ever found yourself in that situation where you trying to hit the mark and keep missing? The person keep moving the target on you,
the boundary.
Yeah, and you, like you said, you find yourself just almost defeated, man. You find yourself exhausted. You find yourself, what I like to say, and I break it down in the most elementary way, I'm sad. Bitch, I'm sad. I'm fucking sad. You're hurting my feelings. My feelings are hurt. You know, and I don't want to lash out because most men, that's kind of how we handle things is through anger at times. And I feel like it's learning myself, man. My anger was very much confusion. My anger was confusion of, I thought I was going the right direction, but I was going the wrong way. And I was led the wrong way because it's beneficial for me to be lost to this person that I'm trying to help compared to we actually working together.
Right.
So once I catch on, it's scary, it's dangerous, because it's like all of this was just a facade. All of this was fake. All of it wasn't real. And I'm supposed to accept an apology, or I'm supposed to just bear? Nah, man, I'm mentally frazzled. You know what I'm saying? I'm emotionally hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not a healthy place. So I've been there knowing, man, I was a young, immature ass young man at the time, knowing like, hey, I didn't know how to handle my emotions like I do as a 38-year-old mature adult who loves himself now.
Right. You gotta be more. I just told a kid, a young man yesterday at work that I was training, that sometimes learning and bettering yourself can affect everything else, instead of you focusing on trying to do it, just doing it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree with that completely. Like, it's made me a better father, a better friend, single or not. I know that I'm in a position to be a better partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did a lot of good to the mother of my children, but I also know that I did a lot of wrong. And like you said, it wasn't because I was a bad dad, it was because I just didn't know any better. That's something that they shouldn't be associated. You know what I'm saying? Like, a person can be a good father or a great father.
One more time, man. Like, repeat that.
So basically, like, the connection is that, let's just say, like, in my past, Dom's mom and I, we oil and water. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't fault her for that, because it's the truth. Oil and water. But one thing that I know she knows is that I'm a great dad. But in our younger years, the only thing that she could do to get to me would be use my son. You know what I'm saying? And I used to have to tell her, like, as triggering as it was, that would get me closer to spazzing out than us not necessarily working. I ain't give a fuck about that. Right. I'm just being honest. It was, I care about my son. You know what I'm saying? So even though we were not compatible, she had my word to be the best dad that I could be. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that they should be associated that just because you and this woman or vice versa didn't work out, that it means that you know who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to give them a chance, so.
Do you feel like that as being a dad now, and the work that you are doing to better yourself, to better your situation, and to better your children, do you think it's being recognized? Like by the mother of your children? Do you think like it's being recognized and seen?
Nah. And that's what's wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like it's appreciated until you have to. You know what I'm saying? So something else that I wanted to talk about is, like I just said, I've been in the juvenile court battle for 17 years. So with Dom getting ready to be 18, I got tired. The system did what it was supposed to do. It defeated me. You know what I'm saying? I fought. I worked. I adjusted the schedule. I did everything that I was supposed to do to make sure that I was present. Going to his mom and saying, man, just let me be your dad. I want him. She didn't care anything about that because she had all the benefits that came with it. So who lost out on a lot of opportunities was me in the long run, because it stunted my advancement. It affected my friendships, because I felt like at 21, 22, 23, 24, I was one of our first friends to have kids. You know what I'm saying? I felt like, man, you niggas don't understand me and what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all see me going up to work every day, but look at this check. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't align, you know what I'm saying? Or not being able to hang out with them like I used to, or feeling like when I did have Dom, not being able to do the normal hangout, whether it be going to bars or clubs. I was more centered on family events. So I missed out on a lot, even in my early 20s, you know, it affected my relationships. I'm sure she will never, ever expect this, but, you know, the woman that I was with, she was a great woman. You know, I'm going to shout her out. Nicole Rivera.
Shout out Nicole.
You know what I'm saying? Great woman. I feel like because I was broken, I wasn't who I should have been to her, and it wasn't always her fault. You know what I'm saying? It was the system doing it. You know what I'm saying? And people was gonna say, "Oh, you making excuses." You saying that until you in that courtroom and they telling you they don't care.
Yeah.
They taking your money just to be like, well, kids will be kids. He needs to be with his mom. Why isn't it that same kid needs to be with his dad?
Yeah,
You
should
know
be
what
the
I'm
same
saying?
urgency.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when we talking about our juvenile system being flooded with young black boys.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't you want them to be with their fathers to learn, you know what I'm saying, how to, you know?
I said this to KJ recently, just getting on him about certain things and making sure I'm protecting him, giving him information. I had told him, like, man, you know, when they see you sometimes as a young black boy, or when they see black men, two things normally pop into people's mind. I mean, either whatever you're doing is looked at as cool, or whatever you're doing is looked at as dangerous because you're black.
Right.
All right. And I'm like, and if you get yourself into some shenanigans, the first thing they gonna ask is, where your daddy at?
For sure.
Where your daddy at? You got a daddy and you acting like this?
It's our fault when we in the home and when we not in the home.
We not in the home.
You can't win.
And you wonder why some people do what it is they want to do.
Man.
I choose, like as a father, man, I choose to show up every day.
Mm-hmm.
I choose to clock in for it every day. I'm thankful that I was able to, Vanessa and I were able to get to a place where we're good and progressing, I'll say. Because it ain't always been peaches and cream, especially when it comes to those children. Mm-hmm. When I got a chance to, permission to speak freely?
Yeah.
When we got together young and hit the ground running on a lot of things early. So when we had a child, we really didn't, I didn't feel like we really gave him some of the attention that he should have really had, because we were focusing on
the relationship,
the growth. Like we were focusing on the responsibilities that we took on. We started a business.
Yeah, right.
We trying to be in a relationship with each other. We do got him, but he, an infant, but we still not doing all the things that we should have been doing for him. As we've grown and we had a chance to kind of get a comfort in life, it made us have to slow down just a little bit.
Right.
So now it made us have to see we didn't really know each other like as well as we should have known each other.
What you mean, you and Nessa?
Me and Nessa.
Okay.
We didn't know each other as well as we should have known each other. And it started to affect the KJ. Mm-hmm. And not in the negative of like, oh, he's spazzing out, but when mommy and I can't really have a conversation without some argument,
right? Or
I'm a deep intellectual brother who a wizard with words, man. I need to know who I'm dealing with. I don't want to just surface it. Right. I want to know as much about you as I can, because it helps me be the best I can be to you. Mm-hmm. But if you taking me off into the deep end somewhere else that I don't supposed to be, where you taking me somewhere that is delusion, is not even real. I'm fighting false battles or getting it. That's kind of where we were, just on some immature, childish things. Man, I wasn't always the best boyfriend, fiance, or husband.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I gave that effort to show up for my child, even if I wasn't being the best to her, which had to change. But bringing it full circle into the fatherhood and the child connection, when me being in the home and me working as much as I was working, me trying to connect with my woman, me trying to connect with my child, but still having negative people around to deter. Like I as a man, I'm outnumbered. Mm-hmm. Okay. So KJ got his mama, his aunties, his grandmamas, all like men ain't shit. And then, but you saying that to him or around him, or you got me looking as like I'm the one who's on the leash. I'm being pulled around when it's like, hey, I think I'm manning up and handling shit, but I'm really a sucker to you.
Right. It's a comedian right now. I can't think of his name, but and I'm just going to steal his line right quick. This is no shade to the letter people. But we also see that there is a spike in homosexuality, and a lot of the times that is the case is because you have little boys and little girls with no dads in the home, so they are mimicking what they see. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I said, I ain't homophobic. That is just a given fact.
We like girls that like girls. That's okay.
And if you can't associate the two, you're just not being honest with yourself.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
When there is no father in the home and the woman may feel like she's not being heard, one of two things is going to happen. She's going to keep running to other men, which is not good for a child, or she going to switch up, and you can take that how you want it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it happens, man. So with me being in the home and Nessa not having our things, it was one of them like, what are we doing?
Right.
Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? What do we want to do? And where are we going?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not just us, we got these children.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, I was just, how can I put it? I want to make sure I say this correctly. Not just from my wife, but from women that were around me. I got a chance to see, especially like in our age now, man, we late 30s.
Mm-hmm.
You seeing the spike in people rushing relationships, people rushing to get married, people rushing. And I think that's one of them most as a married person, bro, I've been married 9 years, to rush to get married and knowing it's normally women who push to get married, to rush it. That's almost one of the most disgusting things that a woman can do, is rush to give up the responsibility of herself for that man to take care of her, knowing most women push that. They're not looking to be faithful to this one man per se. They're looking for status, because most women don't feel like a woman if they don't got a man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially later on in your life, you ain't got nobody knowing you got to choose, you the choosy one for real.
The look of it, the aesthetic.
You got it. So I find that as disgusting as a man, knowing that I'm married, knowing what all that comes with, that commitment of, hey, I'm rocking with you and this is what we gonna do. You just willing to, most of them at this age, they willing to just jump on with anybody, which is dangerous. Anybody that's willing to say they can foot the bill of being a husband, being a man, being a father, knowing if you got children and you just got some randos around your kids,
the impact of it.
Like, no. Or as being a young man at the time, getting to see, hey man, this woman loves other men more than the man who she birthed that loves her unconditionally. That, hey, your mother can love the attention of men and be neglecting the unconditional love that her children give her. Her son gives her, who is a man as well, who can't help but how he feel about loving her until he catch on. Okay, and most of the time when that man catch on, he ain't got to act a fool. Yeah, he ain't got to blow the spot up.
It's gonna come a day.
It's gonna come a day.
Like, well, you been saying this. And you've been saying that, I like I said, I studied being a father, and I saw recently again on Facebook, it was something that went viral, and the post said, before you pass judgment, get your father's side of things.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people who have been programmed based off of one side of the story. And
that's all they heard.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that ain't realistic.
You see that more common. You see that more common than what you think, man. That mama be lying on daddy because she hurt, or mama be lying on daddy because she got caught up,
or because it make her look good.
It make her look good, and I feel like just and I love women. I want to make sure I put that out there, man.
For sure, yeah. This is not we not bashing. Today is about.
This is education for real. As I said to my siblings the other day, my two sisters, Crystal and Kiera, shout out to both of them. I said it to them like, I apologize to you if I hurt your feelings when I say certain things, but I'm like, I gotta say certain things because I'm a man and I only can see things a way of a man that you need to know from a man, because you're not a man.
And you ain't getting it.
You're not getting it. Just like you as a woman, I have to hear what you say because it's things that you can see and know that I don't know as a man that you see as a woman is why we need each other. Nigga, don't bash me. Don't. It's like, cause I know how to leave you cold.
Right. And then
but they didn't even what I wanted to do. But it's like, I know that it ain't built for you.
It's I'm just throwing the history out there. So kind of what you just said is, when we was growing up, have you ever heard of the book Men Are From Mars, Women Is From Venus?
Yeah.
That's basically kind of what it is. Like, we are meant to balance each other out, even though we don't understand the importance all the time of one another. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a good way to say it. A good way to look at it. Like, we're supposed to.
We ain't
There's
supposed to
only
be the
men
same.
and women.
Yeah, we ain't supposed to be the same. Like, you gonna look at it this way because of your experiences, your touch, your viewpoint, however you want to say it. But as a man, I can guarantee you that I am not gonna see it the same. Like, when Duda fall and bust his knee, I don't be like, oh my God. Oh, like, man, get your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not.
Fathers are more reluctant to let the children get close to danger than mothers.
Did you feel the fire?
Yeah,
you
burned your ass, didn't it? Got you.
Bet you won't do it again.
Tough lesson. But
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Please tap into me on IG. That's the primary platform. Permission, 2_ Speak Freely Podcast. That's permission, 2_ Speak Freely Podcast. Absolutely, straight up. And you can follow me as well. Laylo the Most at LAYLOE.THAMOS. And definitely follow us, man. Engage with us. Ask us questions. Get engaged, man. Freedom Speakers. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And we protect y'all as well. Permission to speak.
I understand, like, having two boys, man. I understand how Nessa comes to the aid of KJ and Cairo. Oh, I want to get him this or do that. Or, oh, KJ playing baseball. I'm going to get him some shoulder pad. Get him some elbow pad. I'm like, no, he need to learn how to hit. He need to learn how to move.
Get out the way.
Yeah, he need to do that. It ain't fashion, babe. It ain't I'm going to get him some matching cleats and socks. I'm like, he can be the flyest bum on the team. He got to play.
Don't mean nothing.
Don't mean nothing. So it's two different views. But for the benefit of the child, they're getting a scope. They're getting a huge scope of, this is how daddy looks at it. This is how mommy looks at it. This is how grandma looks at it. Granddad looks at it. Uncle Tay, Uncle Bud,
right.
Uncle Tan Man. But it's like, hey, what they say, take a village.
Right. So when you removing the fathers, you get again, the proof is in the pudding. You end up with a lot of suckers. And Cleveland, Ohio, you know what I'm saying? For people who watching online, what they call them, the kid boys, they on the rampage in the juvie system. We got the heartless fella. We got all of that. And again, I say that to say this. A lot of them boys and young men probably never had daddies in the home.
Had a dad.
So if the blame is on the men, how you end up with that if the men not there? So I say that to say why y'all don't want us to be more involved, more hands-on, and the excuses and the comments are going to say nobody's stopping you from it.
Really?
Not all of you.
Not a person. May not be a person.
The majority of you are, though.
Yeah. It may not be a person that's stopping you, but as you go through certain litigations, there is a system.
Yeah.
There is a system. So as I tell Vanessa, and we, like I said, I love my wife, man. I love how we've grown together and we've been able to understand each other. We didn't broke each other. We didn't built each other up back and forth to get us to where we are now. But I feel like that's how you get to know the person. Not by breaking them. I don't want to say that, but being there for that person when life hits them.
Right.
Okay. When such situations happen. And I remember saying this one time to an employee, a past employee of ours, when they were giving a compliment, I guess, like, hey, yeah, it's both of you guys, your guys together. I'm like, you right, we are together. So it happened to us both. Mm-hmm. It happened to me both. It happened to us both. I'm hurt too, goddammit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I got to remain a certain way, just like she may feel. She got to remain a certain way to get things done, man. So that being said, we've been through things and graduated through things is where I got, not just her being the mother of my children and my wife, but I got the utmost respect for her. And for people who don't value marriage, like I value marriage, even though my wife fully know if I could, I had like 2-3 wives. I had 2-3 wives, just 3 times more faithful. You know what I'm saying? But us having those conversations, she's like, man, I don't want to share. You don't want to do none of that stuff. But I also know, like, what you wanting more from or more women doesn't mean like a negative, but it's more like you need more from me. And her having to grow to a certain level to match me and meet me, knowing if the man is supposed to lead or the man is leading. Maybe you got to get that respect and them flowers due when you get to see somebody who got some direction,
right?
Who found some direction, and not just entrepreneurial, but in life, like a father who has a goal with his child. I don't want you to end up in jail,
right?
My daughter, I don't want you to end up on what OnlyFans selling ass
on the pole.
Not, and I support OnlyFans. Okay,
no comment.
And what I mean support is, hey, everybody got to work. But people done found all kind of jobs now, so I'm not mad at it. But meaning, your horizons are bigger than just what's easy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, being a father, being a husband, being a man, it comes with a lot, man. It's heavy. And something I tell Vanessa, and freedom speakers, man, if you got, and I just want to speak to the women for a second. If you have a man, a boyfriend, a husband, a father, a grandfather, a son,
appreciate them.
One, most definitely appreciate them. And never, and I say this to Vanessa, man, never feel like I am okay. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if I'm smiling, I'm dancing, I'm kicking it. Never feel like I'm okay, because you never know what's going on with somebody.
Right.
But never feel like I'm okay. Always check up on me. Make sure I'm good. Make sure you make some time for me. I don't want to have to be acting a fool to get some attention. I want to just pull you by your coattail, or I want to be in proximity of you, and I just give you some little googly eyes or something.
Right, yeah.
But we vibe. You feel me?
The expectation shouldn't be, even we learn as kids, as you said, permission to speak freely. The value of Mother's Day is unsubstantial. People go out of their way for their mamas, and
you gotta love your mama.
Yeah, you
gotta love your daddy too.
And, we get socks and ties. And Father's Day 3 weeks later.
Father's Day 3 weeks later. And it's Father's Day, which is one day. And then you got Mother's Day.
Every day.
You celebrate it every day, but it's one day. But Shark Week get a week.
Yeah.
They get a week.
Fucking, and not only that, but something I hate. Let me know in the comments. I don't care if you like it. If you a woman telling another woman Happy Father's Day on Father's Day, you corny.
Hey, that's disgusting.
Man, get that man his day.
Okay, let him have that day.
One day.
Let him have them cup. Like, he'll be back to being, depending on how the relationship is between you and that man, he back to being whatever else you want him to be tomorrow. Let him get his flowers for this day.
And if you do feel like you do it on your own and you got to say, well, I'm the mommy and the daddy, guess what? You chose him.
Yeah, that's some heavy. We're gonna segue into that, man. That's some heavy accountability, man, of the woman being able to state like, hey, this is the man that I chose. This is the man I chose. Not only to per se, maybe children happen.
Yeah, they happen. For
children
sure.
happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So children happen. So we not gonna blame it on that. But it's like, hey, what did this man do to qualify to be able to clap them cheeks?
Right.
Okay. Was it his jeans? Did he talk nice? Was it his car? Did he have a good job? You heard he was holding? What was it? It had to be something. And it had to be more. And knowing we were young. Young.
He ain't just become bummy overnight.
Exactly.
He ain't just become a deadbeat overnight, especially for the ones who have multiple. How you got 9 kids and you think he just being bad to yours? No, you didn't care.
Yeah.
You thought you was gonna change him.
Nah.
What?
No. You cannot change a person. It's already hard enough to change your damn self, let alone trying to change someone else. And when you get a chance to see trends and patterns and pick up on it, that shit is for real. You know what I'm saying? That shit is for real. A person's trends and patterns, their habits of what they do, what they don't do, how they deal with shenanigans, man.
Right.
Everybody is down to kick it and hang out when shit is good.
Right.
When shit is going well, man, everybody's showing up.
Right.
But when it's a real live problem that everyone or most can at least relate to, some people can't even give you advice, willing to give advice. And sometimes it's not even, and I'll say at least for a man, in most cases, nigga, it ain't, I don't need no materials, man. I know how to get out here and hustle. I know how to build. I know how to find. I know how to get. But sometimes it's like, hey, I just need an ear.
Mm-hmm.
I need and that's in freedom speakers, people who listen, family, friends. If you know me and you in my circle, you know I'll just hit you up. Hey, wellness check.
Yeah, how you doing? What's going on?
I thought about you. No gay shit, man shit, even though it's Pride Month.
Yeah. You know.
But it's like
all in one.
All in one.
So,
you know what I'm saying? All in
Once
one.
again, see how they do it?
Yeah. So one of my boys said that he's like, hey man, I don't got nothing against gay people at all. Me either. I like girls that like girls, and some of my great friends who listen to this show who are teachers, I respect them and all of that stuff. However, I do know when I'm targeted as a man.
For sure.
I do, the children are targeted. Some of the TV shows KJ was watching at a time on Disney had a little black boy he was wearing like a girl cardigan, pearls on his neck. He had baby doll shoes and like jegging pants.
You will see.
I'm like, for a little boy?
You will see stuff on TV with, again, it's what they're teaching and programming our children to learn. I don't want to say the name of the show. I'm not sure if it was Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network, but you'll see, a white family, or you might see two mamas, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's rare that you see a wholesome black family. And then when you do get those shows, they are very short-lived, Yeah. So, and I think that's unfortunate.
So I'll say this, I'll play devil's advocate for a second. I understand them because it's people who I love who are gay, or openly gay.
The diversity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand
that. They got to see it too. Yeah.
I understand the inclusion to how it's heavy to feel apart.
Right.
Okay, so I don't knock it in any kind of way, shape, or form. Okay, like I said, I love girls who love girls.
I just don't care. It ain't my business. You know what I'm saying? And what you do don't make me shit.
And exactly. And that's the point that I wanted to bring it to of the world somehow made it okay to talk about certain things that are usually private.
Right.
Your sexuality is usually private. And at a certain time, you would teach your child their private is private, and what you do in private with people is private.
Mm-hmm.
How did all of a sudden I get to judge you by how you like to be pleased?
Right.
So I understand that of having people who've come out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You are listening to Permission to Speak Freely, broadcasting from Cleveland, Ohio, 216. Home of the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Guardians. Go Tribe.
Who've respected me at the same time, who've come out to me and was like, I like girls, I want to experience it with you because you never judged me. Like, word, dope. But I understand the inclusion, or this is how you feel. I don't want to judge you or argue with you on how you feel because that's your truth. Because you can't tell me how I feel, especially if you made me feel some kind of way. Like, no, bitch, I'm sad. You made me sad.
Yeah.
So I get it, but I don't like the target of, hey, man, we systematically designed something to influence young men to, especially on sexuality, to feel like, hey, this is more easy or more comfortable, especially when they're already outnumbered because they got the feminine energy around them.
Right. Especially 9 to 1 nowadays or something along them lines.
It's a lot. So I to bring it full circle, I respect people's choices and their lives and their livelihood and even the strength to share to say, hey, this is what I am. You got my support. But when you take that and you use it to manipulate my son,
and what looks like me,
you take it to like that's warfare. Like to me, that's warfare. That's you almost trying to castrate him, so he doesn't populate. Not that you want him to find pleasure or be pleased. It's like no, if I don't get you to have children, my race or my culture or my group get to multiply. And it's always power in numbers. So if you don't have men like me, men like you, men like Von, men like Big Ed, RP, but men who, I'll be the villain, goddammit. I'll be the villain because this is the standard of what needs to be. And if you don't like it, the world is cold.
Right.
The world is cold. Go find your own, just like we are. So the world needs men like us. The children need men like us. Women need men like us. Even though it's fun to say fuck us, but you still be fucking us, and you still need to fuck us. Remember, your mama needed to fuck a man too for your raggedy ass to be here. So as much as you want to push men to the side and use us like tools and take us off the shelf when you can, you get upset when other groups form, such as the Passport Bros. If I wasn't married, I'd have been a Passport Bro. No, but meaning like, hey, you can't. Don't be mad at that man being a hetero man.
Right.
That you don't want to deal with him, or he, and then I'll say that into this. You don't want to deal with him. You don't want to fuck with him. Because he's a black man, but you'll go deal with other denominations of black. Oh, I got this Haitian, I got this Jamaican, I got this, I got that. But it's like, you got your own man, like American, whatever label you want to put him, but you don't want him. You don't want no 9-to-5 man. And that's probably one of the most disgusting things to me right now is like, hold on, bitch, you don't want no.
Yeah, a provider is a provider.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And remember, I'm gonna play devil's advocate to Kevin Samuels for a second. Kevin Samuels did a great thing by giving men a voice. But I also feel like he became targeted when he was able to empower people. Okay, he empowered men, most definitely black men, to be able to speak up and have a standard and not just cry in the dark.
Right.
Or not know, like, men stay for the children too.
Man.
Okay, so it's men stay for the children too. You feel like, oh, I'm just here because it's like, no, nigga be like, hey, I want my kids to be in a broken home. So remember, he gave men a voice to be able to speak and be able to be like, hey, I'm saying what most of them not strong enough to say.
Yeah, everybody not going to go get milk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been put into a lot of tumultuous situations because I chose my children. You know what I'm saying? And I think they would even agree that both of the mothers of my children would say that they knew that was the only real way to get to me. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm doing my best to be that father, they would do things, triggering things, you know what I'm saying? And I'm no way, shape, or form innocent, but I do know that when it came to my kids, it wouldn't be something that I would do to their mothers because that's their moms.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I done had the police called on me. I done got jumped. I done been physically assaulted. You know what I'm saying? Before. And, you know, I done had to hold my own, all that. You know what I'm saying? And I done had the stigma of, oh, they afraid. What you afraid of? If I ain't never put my hands on you before, then putting it into the air of the atmosphere is because, you know, you knew that would probably hold some weight.
Yeah,
we see that on TV every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I don't have a side, but we seeing it right now with Haley Bailey and DDG. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what's going on in their home, but as soon as she said the world ready to chew him a new one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why? Because she the mama. So
Right.
it's easy for y'all to believe that without no proof, and everybody ready to be okay with it.
Remember, we recently just shared earlier, like, hey, man, him be as a black man, regardless of,
We always wrong.
yeah, you always wrong, but how you're gonna be viewed is either whatever you doing. When they was together,
It was great.
he was cool. It was cool to have locks and you talk rapping. You got an actress, woman who sing. Now he dangerous. Oh, he didn't cut his hair. He's streaming. He doing anything they trying to look to be negative. When it's like, hey, as a father, I get to see, man, that nigga lonely.
Man,
He's trying to occupy his time when that woman is pawning that child,
for sure.
because it favors her.
Her, for sure. When they were happily together, it was, oh, that's a great dad, you know.
Relationship goals.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He was taking the back seat when she was Little Mermaid. You know what I'm saying? When she was going on tour with her sister, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is what the goal should be. You know, if he got to take as men, got to take the back seat. I'm not saying we always going to be the breadwinner. I'm not saying that. But the narrative switched on that man so quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was, oh, he's doing what he's supposed to do. But then as soon as she came out and was like, oh, yeah, it's time to go. Now this man that was just a great dad who was uploading videos of whatever little nigga name is.
The back little DDG Jr.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, he don't need to be around his daddy.
They make him like he's vicious, man.
Like,
and that's what makes me sad. Like, the world can change that narrative and make a loving, caring father be hated by his own people
overnight without knowing
nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing, man. And you wonder why suicide rate for men is like 53%. Most men don't even make it to 50 years old.
Right.
They take themselves out of here. Like, it's a serious thing, man. It's a serious thing, and to know it's designed for you to fail. There's only few who get victories, who get some wins.
Right.
But it's designed for you to still look bad as the man, looked at as like you didn't try hard enough, you didn't do enough, and it's like, really?
What else you want me to do?
There is, you know what system there is for me out here in the world that helps me? Jail. That there is no national Section 8 for men.
Nah.
There is no national, hey, I'm gonna give the man a job.
Right.
Society.
Right.
There is no, that is, most men supposed to be Republican. Get it by your bootstraps, the sweat of your brow. Is like, hey, you even take it to a place at a time where it's like, hey, I was a black man, I couldn't even get employed.
Exactly. You rather see me on the street. So, you know, I'm not 100% sure when it kicked off, but I know it was during the time period of in between Dom and the twins. So Ohio has something called, I think you probably are familiar with it. It's called the Bubblegum Law, the Double Dip Act or whatever. So when Dominic was younger, you know, obviously as the economy has changed, one benefit is, because I've always been current on his child support, is because they don't have a plethora of caseworkers, they've pretty much left me alone. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But imagine paying what I pay for him when minimum wage was
$5.25.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it was days where I had to worry about if I'm gonna eat, because I can't go downtown and say, hey, can I get food stamps too? You know what I'm saying? Like, but you taking from me, and then you saying that it's based off of gross and net. Somebody gotta be the custodial, you know? So being in those positions before, it was definitely tough. So the Double Dip Act pretty much is saying that they change things where if a man has multiple streams of income, they can only touch into it maybe once a year. So bringing that a little bit further up to speed. So let's say they're taxing your main source income job, but then I turn around and I say, well, damn, nah, I don't got enough to provide for me. And I go out here and I get a part-time job. They aren't supposed to group the income together now. They're just only supposed to base it off of one. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But the encouragement of that was because, man, we're really out here being forced to choose between life or death, which then associates under the table jobs. Like, people don't understand that people aren't finessing just to finesse. It's because they ain't got no choice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so when you only think of it again from one perspective, I know some men out here who rather pay out of pocket to the child support office instead of having a taxable, job, because that's what they got to do to survive, so
yeah, man. So tell me this, when it comes to just being a father now and the resources that are out there, can you tell the people the resources that you've used or taken part of that kind of put you at the place you at now?
The last 2 years I have been in a full-blown custody dispute, which ended this past September with me being given full custody of my children.
Congratulations.
So during this time period, like I said, bringing it back to what I mentioned before, I have seen both sides of what a man has to go through in terms of juvenile/civil matters. Being awarded custody of my children as of last year, there aren't a lot of programs out there that say dads can benefit from. So I don't know if you guys can see my shirt, but Cuyahoga County has one. It's called the Fatherhood Initiative. Another one that they have is called the Passages Program. And there are, I'm sure, a lot of other ones, but those are two of the major two where we are. So they teach you co-parenting skills. They teach you how to be a better father. They try to bridge that gap in terms of employment. They'll have jobs fairs and things of that nature. But where the snag is again, we still have to be able to survive. So they'll introduce you to people, which is a great asset to have. But sometimes it's not enough. I want to shout out the Passages Program most definitely, because just me contacting them, they were able to just give me an opportunity to have a voice instead of just giving me a number or rushing me off the phone. And then from there, they connected me to the people that were able to step in to help me. My lawyers, Natalie Thomas and Katera Kennedy, you guys have done miraculous things for me, and I appreciate you guys. So there's you guys a shout out for sure. If you guys want to contact them for any father that might be wanting to get shared parenting or full custody of your children, give me 1 second.
Shout out to them for being able to just step in and have those resources for you, man.
I met them through Scranton Road Legal Ministries. You guys can Google it. I don't want to hold up too much of the time. Just Google that number or Fatherhood Initiative or the Passages Program.
And these are located in Cleveland, Ohio?
Yeah, they're in Cleveland, Ohio. I also want to talk about the bruncheon here that the Cuyahoga County Fatherhood Initiative does. It's always the Friday before Father's Day, so it's next week. If you guys get a chance, register for that. It puts everybody in one place, because I know how tough it is being passed around between the child support. There's only one you. You can't be at the child support building, juvenile court, job and family services, at work, in bed, and a dad all at once. I encourage that if you guys can sign up for this free brunching, do it, because it puts a lot of the supervisors, a lot of the shot callers, a lot of the people who can give you those answers that you may need to questions in one room. If they can't talk to you, I'm more than willing to be of help. You know, you guys can look me up on Facebook. My first name is Terry Allen, so it's TerryAllen Nichols. You can find me on Facebook. Just shoot me an inbox, man, and tell me a little bit about yourself, what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And I'm just going to give you the real, because when you go down to those places, every situation is circumstantial, and they really don't want you to win anyway. So they're not going to give you all of the information that you really need, or they may not even know, you know what I'm saying? Because of how the game is set up. You know, it's sometimes who you know, not what you know, that can help you with that. So yeah, like I definitely will give you more resources, but in terms of the things that I have been able to get, I ain't gonna lie to you, it wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was people that saw the hurt in my eyes. They saw the pain. They saw the, dare I say, the shortcomings that I was being given, all the way down to, man, having to catch the bus with my kids, or not having a vehicle, because again, I was going to make sure that those three had, you know. And I'm not saying that there are not women out here who go through it. I'm saying that you guys,
fathers matter. We talking about fathers
matter. That's what today is. We're not gonna do. It's not a pissing contest. Today is about giving the men who deserve the credit. It's about giving the men who want the resources and the ability to get, you know, because I want that to be what's important. Fathers matter, man.
So man, let me ask you this, bringing it full circle, man. If there's one thing that you could change in our society pertaining to men and how men are viewed, what would it be?
We definitely have to be better. I will not say that is not true, but with our generation, like I said, dealing with this for the past 17, 18 years, there is a lack of understanding. There's fear, because we're seeing the court system intervene and favor children being with their moms. And that does not necessarily mean that it's the better situation. I'll say in the past decade, I've seen more fathers become courageous in terms of fighting the legal battle. It's going to take time. It's going to cost money. And you got to definitely produce the evidence and the paperwork, you know. So I'm not gonna tell you that it's gonna be an easy uphill battle, but as long as we continue to change the narrative of that we don't want things to change, they will have no choice but to respect our voice in terms of being looked at or viewed as equals. If I had to say one or two things, first would be, I'll just put it out there because it's the truth. I think everybody should get DNA tests at birth. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things in court that could go the route that ties up the court system that may not even have to be the case. You know, that's first and foremost. I also believe that some of the laws are a little prehistoric. It's tough because I can't control, if we're separated, what you do or where you live, you know. But I think that some things should be taken into consideration, because if it's about the child, sometimes I can't be the best father I can be if you are an hour away, 2 hours away, you know what I'm saying? So just more compassion is what I would like to see change, for sure, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, for sure, man. being educated on it is healthy. Like you being able to give people your story, what you've been through, what you're going through, the steps that you've learned is probably so much further than what most people have done, knowing that, like you stated, a lot have given up, bro.
Yeah, they gonna give up.
A lot have given up.
If you don't know, you're just gonna assume, well, why would I want to fight? If you don't, how can you learn? Because, I love all of my children equally. They bring out different things in me. And what you just said about you and KJ's relationship, I tell Dom the same thing. Like, I'm definitely tougher on him, but I tell him the reason I'm tougher on you is because you haven't had me in the home. You're with me on the weekend, you know what I'm saying? But you seeing things from a woman's perspective every day, so I make sure that I crack down on him, not to just be a firm disciplinarian, but because I have to instill in him a male perspective, and what I used to tell him, 50 hours a week. And that is not something that I always have wanted, but I also tell him, you don't understand the sacrifices that it took for me to get the 50 hours, like having to work third shift jobs and missing out on sleep, to make sure that I can attend his events. It was what mattered to me. You know what I'm saying? The twins, they had me at home from birth up until their mother and I separated. And I made sure that I stayed in close proximity, so that way I can still see them every day if I could, but most definitely every weekend until I ended up getting custody of them. So with Dion, I'm sure he's a little boy, he's 6. I'm sure he thinks that I'm tough on him, but Dom tells him all the time, like, shit. Right. Like, you got it. You don't even know. You know what I'm saying?
Dion caught you
seasoned. In a better place emotionally.
Seasoned as a dad.
Yeah,
now.
Like he more in tune with myself, my emotions, all of the above. And then, so my twins are one boy and one girl. So Drew has taught me the importance of being a girl dad. Like how I discipline her is different. Like I talk to her. You know what I'm saying? Where with Dion, I gotta put hands on him.
Sometimes that come about.
But having them in my home, even though their mother and I are separated, has taught me to be a little bit softer with the mother of my children. It's taught me to expect more in my future of dating. It has taught me that my words are just as powerful as my hands can be. So when I sit down and talk to her, I can tell that I'm teaching her how to be loved correctly by a man. How to love a man is very important to me. So I feel like a lot of people didn't have that because they didn't have the dads in the home. So, say it could be something simple like, I'm teaching her how to cook already right now. Or like, she'd be like, well, Dad, why do I got to do this? It's not because I'm pushing, where should I say, like sexual chores. No, like I'm making sure that when I'm in the kitchen, she in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like, or, just to be on her business. So having my kids, like I said, I'm seeing the differences in my involvement and how I interact with them as well. So,
hey, and that's a dope thing, man. For you to be the father in the home, which is almost unheard of. That is the single dad.
Yeah, ain't no help. I'm gonna put that out there. 0. Y'all, I'm no names, but you know me, so you know her.
Yeah, I find it dope, man. Single dad, you measuring up, you hitting the mark of, you got a boy, you got 2 boys and a girl.
Mm-hmm.
You making all the adjustments that you need to. You smile through it.
For sure.
You smile through it. Though you are true about what you feel like, hey, this isn't light. This isn't.
It's a heavy burden for sure.
Yeah. But the way that you give, man, you give people hope. You give men hope of, hey, man, Brody really stepped in and cared about his children enough that somebody saw fit for them to be with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you thankful for it. You appreciative of it, and it was something that you don't really get to see, or you don't get to hear men be like, hey, I care about my children too. I care about them just as much. It should never be a rival of who loves the child more.
Right. You know
what I'm saying? That's an unhealthy place to be. You know what I'm saying? And recently, this might be like a couple months ago, man, KJ had asked Vanessa and I out of the blue, like, are you guys getting divorced? I'm like, no, nigga, what made you say that? He's like, because if you guys do, I'm gonna like live with mom during the week, and I come with you the weekend. I'm like,
why?
Well, damn, son.
I would have been like, why?
Where did this come from?
Right.
But it was, he's around like 2 or 3 of his friends' parents that got divorced.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a common thing. I think one of his best friends, their parents got divorced. His dad moved to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy that lived across the street, they got divorced. When his friends in school, they parents got a divorce. So it's more common than what you think.
Mm-hmm.
But because we are married and he see divorce on TV,
right?
You know, the kids, you hear it in music. So it's like, hey, if you guys don't get a divorce, do I get 2 Christmases? Or I get like, what is one of them? Bro, you will really be fucking hurt. I wouldn't hear.
Yeah, and you know, like, I'm a product of that, you know, and I'll go a little bit more in depth to stuff people who don't even know, unless you really, 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 really know me, what I'm getting ready to say, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom did a great job, even though she and I really didn't have the best relationship. What my mom taught me was she never tried to be both mommy and daddy. You know, my mom taught me how to be a man's man. She taught me what I should do for women, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. But my parents went through a divorce at a young age, and I saw the mental toll that it took, because me and my father were inseparable. Like, we did everything together. Like, I'm talking about, he was my hero before I even knew what the word meant. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If I could have been in his skin, that was how close we would have been. Like, I'm talking about everything he did, I wanted to do. And when my parents started getting divorced, to me, it was because I was young. My parents got divorced when I was 9 or whatever. I didn't really understand it, because that's how I was looking at it. Like, it's no big deal. You know, I'm still going to get to see daddy. But my father committed suicide 2 weeks after my 10th birthday. So in the course of a year and a half, he went from having me in the home every day. You know, I'm sure there was other mental health issues that, you know, he was dealing with. But to take his... You know, I got an older sister, but I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were inseparable. Now that I'm older, I look back at those memories and I saw a man that was broken because he lost the only thing that mattered to him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So to not be able to tuck me in that night or pop up at, you know, like, my mom didn't stop him from being a dad, but it was just different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, from being there and not being
there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when we have to be in a place of understanding that our kids are just expecting to go with mom, I don't think that nobody understands the depression that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's tough.
When KJ said that led for Vanessa and I to have a conversation. Though it was drenched in humor.
Right. Hypothetical.
Yeah. It was drenched in a lot of humor. She knows that I'm one of those fathers. She like, you not gonna just let me leave.
Hell no.
Kids. Like, she like, nigga, I know you not. Mm-mm. And I'm like, you goddamn. I'm calling Tim Misley, bitch. I'm calling Tim Misley. I'm making pay. But it was like, I love my children and I love being a father, man.
You can have anything else.
Yeah, it's like, I'll pay you to stay away. I'll pay your ass to stay the fuck away. But we here. You know what I'm saying? But it was one of them like, hey, you can't make me feel like you doing me a favor taking my children away. Or you can't make me feel like I'm being punished by having my children with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen some of my friends who got children and them and their mother, the child mother not together, but she used it as like a flex. Like, I'm gonna have him get the baby, he gonna do this and do that. And then the father be like, bring me my fucking child, bitch. You ain't flexing on me wanting to be a part.
Now, Dom's mom does do that, and I hate it. You know what I'm saying? And it's good cop, bad cop. But because I have to be more assertive with him, it definitely is, hey, if you don't do what I'm telling you to do, I'm gonna take you to your daddy. What? Like, why can't it just be, man, I'm gonna take you to your daddy? You know what I'm saying? Because I obviously can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And she has maybe some intentional and not always intentional victimized herself because it's easier to do. You know what I'm saying? And you have to have a
cast of, he ain't, they ain't shit.
Yeah. So if you have a victim, for those who are in tune with their reading or literature, that means you have to have an antagonist. So what you basically is telling them is, if I'm the hero, what is daddy?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Hey, and that's probably some subconscious level of how children probably process it. Mommy
here,
daddy not here, or when he do pop up, it isn't, you mad at him, or just the shenanigans that I've got to see and hear from like my peers, my bros, my circle, and these circle of men who all are fathers and that want to be fathers. I don't know. I was about to lie. I do know some bad dads.
Oh yeah, y'all don't skate.
I know some bad fucking dads. I don't hang out.
Man, I call deadbeat dads out every chance that I get.
Yeah, I used to have compassion.
I don't have none.
Okay. We at the same place now. I used to have compassion because I didn't know stories. I didn't know like, hey man, he is done the third. But I also know nobody gives a fuck about me,
right? And
how I have to tend to my children and things like that. So if I don't get a pass and I choose to step into it,
right,
this person is purposely avoiding and using the circumstance.
Yeah. We can have honest dialogue. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but you're not gonna give me excuses of why you just not.
Yeah, why you not? You can tell me, hey, bro, I'm financially fucked up. She got a problem. I'm willing to listen, but you can't tell me, as we said earlier, bringing it full circle, you and her don't got that.
Right.
That ain't you and that child. Okay. As me recently finding my side of the family, my father's side of the family, not me finding, my sister and my mother found my father's side of the family online. Keep in mind, nigga, I've been asking where my daddy at for 38 years. All right. I've been asking where he at for 38 years. My mother and I didn't have the best relationship, though. I love her, and I know my mother. Just learning my mother's history. My mother was born with a broken heart, so I learned to understand and forgive this child wasn't potentially born through love.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
You know, that's a real thing. Like, this child wasn't born through love. This child, like, children get here. Okay, people get here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say a circumstantial product of that. I'll say I was raised more so with a business mindset. You know what I'm saying? My parents were both successful and wanted to get out of their product of environment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So to them, it was elite breed elite, but they were not compatible. So my sister and I missed out on the things that were probably the equivalent of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was taught how to balance a checkbook.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I was taught
a lot of skills.
business.
Mhm.
I was not taught love. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's why I agree with you. I'm learning that with my children, my partners. You know what I'm saying? I've been told, you know, like, I'm not emotional. I love who I love. You know what I'm saying? But my interaction, like, you know, with my friends is different than my woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, I've been told, like, man, you cold at times. No, I'm not cold. I'm just meticulous to certain things. Like, and that's what I'm just trying to be better at. But one thing that you can never say is I'm not going to handle my business, you know, in terms of what is necessary for this home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For the children, for the mothers, for even the hands that care for the kids, you know?
Right.
So, like I said, well, the relationship with my mother and I didn't really have the best, though I know my mother loved me and that we both were learning at the same time, just like me and KJ.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of understanding and forgiveness comes in there of childhood trauma, circumstance, and situation. As a full-on adult, and I get to see what our relationship is now, it makes me value the relationship with my child more and say, hey, I don't want my child to ever feel like they don't want to talk to their parent, that they don't want to be around their parent, that when they got a chance to get strong and get a voice, that now they're using it to express to me how they feel through their pain, because they never had a chance to be able to say, have that space to say, yeah, Dad, this is how I feel. Or, yeah, Mom, this is how I feel, as I'm learning with my own child.
Mm-hmm.
And as I even teach Vanessa from things that I've learned and still learning, like my mother was great at teaching us a lot of things, man. I'm the genius that I am because my mother's an educator.
Right.
All right. So we had books and food in the fucking house, okay? Books and food. This is before the internet. Go read an encyclopedia, nigga. That was mama. Okay, so I am what I am on a lot of attributes of skills because of what my mother instilled in me. My mother raised her sons, but loved her daughters. Okay, so this is why my brother and I are as domestic as we are. Like I said, we can balance a checkbook, go to a grocery store, cook, clean, wash, do laundry, and go put a hard hat on, build you a bridge, whatever you need.
Right.
My sisters look to be loved by a man who has some of these attributes that their brothers have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So this is what comes with the protectiveness of them, but then it comes with the protectiveness of them, but then the standard that man has of like, hey, I can handle a lot. I need you to match me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I don't need you to come in per se cleaning and cooking for me, which is great, but I know how to do that. You have to give more. Okay? So bringing it, full circle, man. One of the things that my uncle has said to me, RIP my uncle Ed, Edric Harold Brooks.
Yeah, big Ed, man.
Shout out to him. Him and my aunt Terry, shout out to my auntie Terry, Lady T. They came over one day out of the blue from a trip, and they stayed on vacation at a time. They stayed on flights and runways. But my aunt called me like, hey baby, y'all at home? We like, yeah, we here. So they like, we gonna come on through. We got some gifts for you. I'm like, all right, bet. My uncle and my aunt came, and trying not to get emotional. But my uncle and my aunt came, and my aunt gave Vanessa this really nice purse that Vanessa, like, she don't even wear it. She don't even put it in the bag or nothing now. It's just like a souvenir.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I gave you that. I wanted you to have that. I just love you. I want you to have it. And my uncle and aunt got me a nice watch. They know I'm a watch person.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave me a really nice watch and was like, I wanted you to have it. My uncle just giving me that man talk though. And my aunt, my aunt always been my biggest fan.
Mm-hmm.
My Auntie Terry always been my biggest fan. Anything I've ever had or done, she's always showed up. Her and my uncle. They came early and stayed late.
Right.
And they helped out with whatever was needed. They bought liquor, food, chicken wings, whatever. But they was always count on them, and they always was there. I missed the shit out that man. All right. That being said, my uncle was giving Vanessa praise and was like, man, I love what you and my nephew doing and how y'all got things going. You don't really see that too young or whatever. My auntie was like, all right, Harold, what you want me to be like, Vanessa? You want to be like Vanessa something? And he was like, no, I just love how she treat my nephew.
Yeah,
Like, I just love how she treat him. And I know as a man, and these was his words, like, I know as a man, it's something that had to be said or something had to be done or something with them for that man to want to emerge as a man.
Right.
To want to be a husband, to want to be a father.
Bring it out of him.
Yeah, you got to show something.
Right.
So him seeing that and being like, hey, him being the only married man in the family at that time. He had other people who was married, here and there, whatever. But speaking from a male perspective who married 30-something years.
Right.
He wanted to be there. Even in his death, he's still taking care of my aunt and his kids.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's the man, that's the pinnacle of man I got a chance to see. Until I met my father's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting them and talking to them. And my father passed away at 53 years old in 2013.
Oh, so you ain't never meet him?
I never will.
Oh, wow.
And that breaks my heart.
Yeah,
I'm grieving that.
All right, that's messed up.
I'm grieving that, okay? I lost my uncle, which was the best man I've ever known. And then my father, which was a man I never got the chance to get to meet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I never got the chance to hang out with. I remember KJ played baseball, so we pitching. He was like, man, you ever play pitch with your dad? I'm like, nigga, I'm gonna beat your ass. Why you hitting me on my soft spot, son?
Did you play catch?
I'm like, you gonna catch these hands, goddammit. But small things like that to him that he like, I'm just playing catch with my dad.
Right.
This is something that sits with me like, I never play catch with my dad.
Right.
So, but meeting my father's side of the family, and I haven't met him physically yet. We going down there 4th of July.
Where they at?
Yazoo City, Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
Country boy.
Yeah, I'm hip.
Yep. So when I talked to Mama Tracy, shout out to Mama Tracy, the whole King family down in Yazoo City, Mississippi. I love y'all, respect y'all. When I talked to her on the phone, neither one of us can have a conversation without crying. She looked at me and be like, boy, we was looking for you. Your daddy and I was up there 2013. We was looking for you, Brandy, which is my baby sister. She just graduated. She wanted you to invite you to her homecoming prom or graduate, one of the two, but she was having events at the school. So she would be like, hey man, you look just like that man. You look just like him. And she just gotta have her moment.
Right.
And me having pictures of him, when I get to if you see me next to my mother, you like, oh, you look like your mama.
Yeah.
But if you see me next to my daddy, you like, nigga, that's your daddy.
You got the Johnson sideburns.
Yeah, I got the burners. But
y'all got the pork chops.
Yeah, man. So when I get to talk to that side of the family, they all knew about me. Mm-hmm. So that comforts me. It wasn't like I was a secret. It wasn't like my dad didn't know or like abandoned me. It was, and this is me filling in the blanks for myself. Because I've asked my mother for clarity, like to have a adult conversation. Like I've lived long enough to see my own shit come full circle.
Right.
But don't mentally try to manipulate and play me as like I'm some child and I don't know how this life thing goes.
Right. Like just keep it real.
Be strong enough to have that conversation with me. Or I'm left to assume. So when I talked to my father's side of the family and I talked to my siblings, it's like they all knew who I am. They all longed for this relationship with me. It was like, Dad knew who you were. We knew who you were. They even put me in his obituary.
Oh, okay.
So that was a heavy thing to me too, to be like, I ain't always had the best relationships with my siblings that I have with my mother, and even will alienate me at times. But I had a whole other side of the family who was longing to be close to me. Even now, like, hey, bro, can we come up there? I saw your house on Instagram. Can I come up there? Can I come live with y'all? Can I come hang out? Or, nigga, come down here. We got the space. Mama like, trying to give me anything of my dad's.
Right.
Anything. She's like, I got these motorcycles. You want a motorcycle? I got one of them. My sisters be like, hey, I love you, bro. We missed you. We know you. Now that we know you, bro, we talking damn near every day. And it's 6 other siblings. So it's a whole nother side of family, cousins. They down in the country, farms, pigs, shotgun, all that. But it's like, hey, and I told Nessa, I would tell Nessa when I permission to speak freely.
Yeah.
As I've learned to allow her to be a safe space for me. Well, always wasn't.
For sure. Yeah,
that's the truth.
For sure. Like, y'all gotta gather on that one. If y'all say it, but that don't mean you are.
Right.
Men we are bred to be this way, but a lot of the time it's from what we see, what we feel. You know what I'm saying? So that's deep.
Yeah, so I needed to allow her to be my safe space, because for a long time she wasn't. And I would deal with things the way that I dealt with them, and I would coddle myself, usually with women. Not having that great relationship with my mother, I would always seek out women. And I would seek out aunties, like the older women. The older women tend to always kind of play favoritism to me, or were more attracted to me just due to, and I believe it truly was just the attributes my mother taught me. I'm at work and I'm doing things and I'm handling things, or how I carry myself or conduct myself. I would always intimidate, or at least what I believe, I intimidated women that were my age, because couldn't too often or too much play a game without me catching on early, checking shit. And when I was wild, I was wild. But women who had a little bit more class and a little bit more tact, which were a little bit older than me, those women knew how to approach me. They knew how to talk to me. They knew how to, they could see something and was like, hey, this nigga need nurturing,
right? More
than you scamming them. Because if you just learning as a man, that woman nurture you or talk to you in a way, not just seductively, not just trying to manipulate you, but really like, hey, you really give a fuck about my being. Like, you really care about me. And it ain't just that, you like me.
Right.
You genuinely like me, not for what I can do for you or anything like that, but just like, hey, man, I like you because you funny. Or I like you because you're entertaining. I like you because you smart. I like you because you whatever. Those were the way that those older women would lure me in. They would lure me in through intelligence, through skill, through cooking, they were established. They could hold their own in the conversation. Well, women my age, I would intimidate them. So me being able to know, hey, when I would be hurt and in pain, that's what I would do. I just show up to a spot. I just be there. So eventually somebody gonna talk to me, or I'm gonna talk to somebody. I know how to make friends. I went to school on that day where they taught how to make friends. So I know how to make friends. I know how to interject into a conversation. I know how to be the show. And I know how to just sit the fuck back. But me putting myself in tempting situations didn't help the relationship. It was the easy part of just going to go lay up somewhere else, feeling that temporary satisfaction, that temporary high. And then when I come down, the problem is still there, or it's a recurring thing. So me having to express to her, seriously, severely, it's a certain way you have to treat me, or to be cold.
Right.
certain way you got to treat me. It's a certain way you got to talk to me. And because I love myself and I love myself way more than you will ever love me expressing that to her. Like, I don't need you to love me. I think with most men, love is probably 4th or 5th on the list of like requirements. Respect is damn sure probably number 1 for most men.
Right.
Respect me. I'll say for me, respect me. Let's be cooperative. Okay. Like let's be cooperative. We don't have to be at odds. If I say no, it should make me an enemy. Just like for you, it should make me an enemy.
For sure. Understanding. People don't really understand that. I've done my best to sharpen my communication skills because cooperation is definitely important. No matter if you are seeing things different or not, like that shouldn't be the end all be all.
Yeah, so, you should not blow shit
especially
up.
if you love me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
so we gotta cooperate, man. And I want to be valued. You know what I'm saying? I want to be valued. And but expressing that to her is like, man, and it's a quote that I use. It was like, most women know they supposed to have a man, but do they know how to have a man?
Keep one.
Do you know how to have one? Most women can obtain. They can go get a man for sure. Like, most men, nigga, I ain't trying to be mysterious with you. Like that shit that women, oh yeah, figure me out. Bitch, come on, you playing. Men ain't that mysterious. It's really a straightforward, direct kind of thing. I don't got time to be looping back and forth because shit is urgent to me on what it is I need to do or what's on my plate to do. And if I need your assistance, I need your cooperation, I need your understanding, I need your respect, man. I need your commitment to me. Then maybe nigga open up and you can love a nigga.
Right.
But until then, if you ain't respecting me, we can't communicate. We ain't got like no understanding. We don't got no value on things, some goals. You something to do. You default yourself, at least to me, of being what I feel like I am and knowing what I am. You default yourself to entertainment. You default yourself to just something to do, something to play with, something to have around. When I'm bored, you default to entertainment. And you can be, some people would live in entertainment.
Ain't gotta,
Some people can live in there. But to me, it's like, no, I'm a deep intellectual brother who's a wizard with words. I need connection. So I needed Vanessa to be my safe space, even though at a time she wasn't. But I thank her, I'll make sure I say this correctly. I thank her for thinking more of herself to match me and meet me places. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because she could have just took it and was like, hey, went to easier road travel and dealt with a nigga who required less. Then thinking more of herself like, hey, and she know her husband. It's like that nigga could have been laid up with one of his auntie friends at that hospital. One of them big booty bras in the scrubs. That'd be Jazzy. She come to work with jewelry on. One of them. He could have been doing that because I know that's how he used to soothe himself. But he comes to me. So me allowing that when she was working, remember, because I had some resentment, like, damn, bitch, you weren't trying to fuck with me when I was trying to do this shit, bitch. What the fuck? Now you want to lick my wounds and shit? Bitch, I'm mad. Remember, I'm sad and mad right now. I'll put that in words. I am upset. Now you want to tend to me? What the fuck was you doing every other day? Or now you want to work on some shit when I'm done or I'm broken, I'm fucked up? Like, what were we supposed to be doing every day until here? You can't make me. So it was one of them like,
we're just as important.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
So her having to see that and jeopardize our relationship, because bro, I was done.
Listen, I left them both.
Yeah.
Repeat that. No matter what you heard, I left them both.
Yeah.
Because I had to do what was beneficial for me. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we hurt just as much trying to make it work. Like, I'm being played as a fool, and I pride myself on making good decisions. And it was like, none of these decisions were good. None of these decisions led us to victory. It just led us to more turmoil. And then now you want to work on it when I'm broken and I'm finished and I'm done.
it's just almost a spit in the face of like, what the fuck were you doing every day prior? So us coming from that point and that place, it took time, and it's taking time. Mm-hmm. Okay. For me to be like, I trust you enough to let you into what I deal with emotionally, and then not be slinged back in my face, not to be spit on me, smeared on me because I emotionally let you in. I gotta usually most of the time be the guidance counselor or be the counselor or the therapist for most people. But when I need a chance to be able to vent, I'm not trying to get all that information to the world. I'm not trying to give it to anybody that can compromise me. It's usually bottlenecked into one or a few. Because I don't talk to her about certain husband shit. I talk to y'all. I talk to my bro. I talk to man shit.
Right. To get different perspective.
A most definite different perspective. But when I do feel a certain... When I want to... Hey, real shit. Hey, nigga, when I want to be held... I ain't calling my bros. I'm sorry. All right. I want my woman to hug up on me. I want to feel that warmth from there, but I need to feel safe and comfortable that shit is the shit. And she was there for me. So growing to where we are now, where I can tell her like, man, it's loud inside my head. It's loud inside my head today. Very loud. I'm going to take the day off.
Right. And let me just kick back.
Or she'd come and see me she'd be like, you're hyper non-active verbal today. And she's like, nigga, you're not, usually, nigga, you got a lot to say. You ain't saying shit in hours. And I'm like,
I ain't got it in me.
I ain't got it today. Or she'd come in, you good? But it took me breaking. It took me breaking for her to, this is my piecing of, she never said it, but this is how I read it in her response of how she comes to my aid of things. Her seeing me being broken, and I'm broken, bro. I'm fucked. Okay, I'm mentally fried, my nigga. I'm not here. It made her, I think, to me, it humanized me to her. Because prior, she was like, nigga, you so mentally tough. You so strong. You don't let shit bother you. I'm like, it ain't like it didn't happen though. It ain't like I still didn't absorb it. It still wasn't like I went through it. I just dealt with it a different manner. But I'm at a place now where it's like the cup is running over. Not just on good, but bad too. I need a detox. I need X, Y, and Z. I need this, but when I couldn't come to her at the time, it was I found other outlets. I'm finding hobbies and shit. I'm going to the gun range. I'm shooting shit. I'm being destructive as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm making beats. You know shit. I'm like, I started a podcast, but I'm like, nigga, I'm trying to soothe myself in other ways compared to how I used to, because to me it was healthy, but it wasn't healthy for us.
Right.
So if I need that from you, I don't want to be rationed. And it's not a sexual, but it would be like, it's an intimate. I need to feel close to you. I need to feel attached to you. I need to feel connected to you more than just our children.
On a mental and emotional level.
Yeah, especially me expressing like, I take good fucking care of her. So much that it causes jealousy amongst her friends or my friends or family or other women. It's like, how does she get a kin? Mm-hmm. What do you do to make him do the things he do for you?
Yeah. And then, like, so I was telling a young woman last night that even, I'm single as a bill, I always try to, I guess it's just my mentality. It could be the Libra in me. I try to look at things from a balanced perspective, left, right, front, back, whatever you want to call it. And I don't blame my failed relationships on anyone. I take the good and the bad from it though, so then that way I know what not to do, self-accountability is important. Self-reflection is important. But also being able to say, hey, I saw what that did to me.
Yeah.
You know, so I hear you, you know, being able to say that you feel or sense the jealousy from you guys' thriving relationship compared to what other people feel like they deserve is, if they not putting the work in, they gonna keep ending up with the same or less than. You know, so I am single because I strive to be better. I'm not like I was. You feel me? It'd be a lot of
but, hey, we used to be out here together, bro. So I get it. I say this real quick.
You see the change.
As a nostalgic moment, bro. We was out here
early off the porch.
Outside and off the porch, as they call it. We outside and off the porch.
Man, we was doing stuff 13, 14.
Man, hey, and then when everybody started getting cars, 15, 16.
Man, I learned.
Not everybody everywhere.
Listen, I learned how to catch the bus going to get some buns. I learned how to drive with his cousin, getting some buns.
Bro. You had the red Saturn. Red.
No, so Big Ed, remember Big Ed used to be on the nights, and Terry used to go in. We used to take the Buick.
The black Buick or the blue one?
Or the black one or the gold van.
Okay. Yeah, you did have the gold van, the Pontiac joint.
Man, I learned how to drive before Ed did. It's like, man, just get the keys. Just get
I remember. But yes, getting to see young, wild, ambitious men we were become domesticated,
seasoned.
Yeah, I think it was Kier, my sister Kier, one time was like, man, it's strange as shit seeing you and Keontae as dads, like seeing y'all as father, like that shit crazy. She like,
we grow up too, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So I said this real quick as it's coming to mind when you said grow up. Shout out to Mama Moan, the Simone, that's Vanessa's mother, my mother-in-law. And I don't even use the in-law term, but if I say mama, now I got to break down so many mamas.
Yeah.
But Mama Moan is what I call her. We was out here in the lounge. We'll be broadcasting from today. She had asked, like, why do men grow up so slow? I'm like, because you wild heifers move so fast. I'm like, when you young, you out here fast acting a fool. My Granny Dukes, we chop it a lot now on some adult side of things where she had a place where it's like, who gonna whoop her? She 80-something years old, who gonna spank her? But she like, hey, just speaking truth to test of time of things. She like, hey man, she's like, nigga, I had my first child at 17, pregnant at 16. She like, I like the older men. I'm 13, 14 outside doing stuff. She's like, ain't nothing new up under the sun.
Right, yeah.
Ain't nothing new up under the sun. But she's like, it's been happening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So she like, this is just what it is. That's just kind of what happened. But she like, hey, as she started kind of hitting them 30s or whatever, she got so many kids and she got, these men. And it's like, hey, man, I gotta find some balance in myself. Somebody got to make an honest woman out of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
the moment of transparency is, I'm not saying that every guy is a good guy. That's not what this is.
No.
And again, fellas, we have to be better. But sometimes patience is a virtue, and again, the
self-accountability.
Sometimes that man is what you need and you ain't ready.
Hey,
know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Like, sometimes you may think more of yourself than what you really are. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so I say that. That's when you say that. That's a beautiful thing. I say that because, like you said, some men or some women, when hit with accountability, run, and they find something else easier.
Mm-hmm.
But someone being able to meet the challenge, like I said with Vanessa, her being able to meet the challenge, and with me, her being able to express to me things. It wasn't just one-sided, like I'm just flawless. No,
right.
But me being able to express to her, like, this is what I need, and her being able to think so highly of herself, she matches me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At the same time of her expressing to me, like, hey, this is what I need from you. I need you to be a little softer with me. I need you to talk to me just in a different tone. Okay. I respond better to you. Hey, sweet thing, can I buy you a fish sandwich? Then, bitch, get the fuck out.
Why you ain't cooked nothing?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
So I understand the art of it.
Right.
I understand the art of it. I understand the motion. I understand this. You see, as we surfing with this, I understand that, hey, my interaction can either amplify what you feel or change it. You could be in a bad mood, but me coming and say, hey, what's going on, baby? I just wanted to come check up on you. And I was just so stressed out thinking that you said something to me. But both of us being in that space of times that she'd come out here to the lounge where I'll chill at and come and just peek out. Hey, you good? Just wanted to see how you are. I know you told me, check on you. You ain't, are you okay?
Yeah,
but it's
I wish, again, as my evolution continues to happen, I vocalize more what I need, but, definitely as somebody that pours into so many cups, as a brother, as a son, as a nephew, as a friend, like it's not much being reciprocated back into that cup, So what I require more of is learning my love language, which is the quality time and affirmation, So I spend that time with my children, but like you said, that softer side of me knows now that another reason that those failed relationships didn't work is because it was just being taken for granted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's important, man, to know.
Yeah. So today's episode is brought to you by Therapeutic Relations Healthcare Services, LLC. If you are looking for a job, you can apply at therapeuticrhs.com. And today's show was sponsored by Ben Boston Media Company and by Lounge 87. I have been your host, Chief Ali, and I got Tan Man Terry Allen Nichols in here today as we're talking about and wrapping up what it is to be a father, fatherhood initiative, Fathers Matter, but really making the show really, really, really centered today around men and men
Mental
in
health.
General.
Yeah.
Okay. If you like anything we talked about or have any questions and things you would love for us to talk about, leave in the comments section a few things below just so that we know. Please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook at Kenwan Authentic Johnson. You can follow me at Permission, the number 2_ Speak Freely Podcast on IG. And you can follow me at Ben Boston, that's BNBOSSN on IG as well. Anything else you want to lead the people, man, before we sign out?
Oh no, man. Again, just happy Father's Day to all the great fathers out there, man. It's a laundry list of you guys that I wish I could shout out. For the young fathers or the fathers who just want more, just keep going, man. Don't let anything beat you. Is the lasting impression and words that I would like to leave with you. Again, if you need that encouragement, if you need that support, if you just need to know how to navigate the best way we can. Notice I said we, because we have to change the narrative. Just reach out to me, man, and we can pray on it. We can just talk about it, and whatever you need, man, I'm there for you. Fathers matter.
Fathers most definitely matter. Hey, man, I'm thankful you. Thank you for being able to come on the show.
Man.
Giving your info, giving your guidance. And as we end every show, we end out with a prayer and we end with permission to speak freely. So you care to end us in prayer?
For sure. Dear Heavenly Father, just thank you for another day. Thank you for the growth and development. Thank you for the opportunity to learn and speak freely. Thank you for family. Thank you for friends. Thank you for our loved ones still here that are, encouraging us to be the best men that we can be. Thank you for our loved ones that have moved on, who have set the standard. Thank you for just an opportunity to continue to just be who we are supposed to be. And I ask you for the guidance that you continue to bless me with. In the name I pray, amen.
Amen.
All right, brother.
Thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of Permission to Speak
Freely. Deuces.
Keep me from all evil. Lord, would you keep me as I travel down this road? Lord, keep me from all evil. Lord, keep me as I travel down this road.